I pay off my sons and daughter-in-law's wedding, but then she says she's an independent woman and won't. The check was signed, sealed, and delivered, but the sting of her words cut deeper than any blade could. I don't need your money, Mr. Harper, she'd said, her voice sharp enough to slice through the joy of the day. I stood there, dumbfounded, my wallet lighter by 50 grand, wondering how love could feel so much like betrayal. It was supposed to be the happiest day for my son, Ethan, and his bride, Lila. I'd spent months planning, scrimping, and sacrificing to give them a wedding that would etch itself into their hearts forever. My wife, Clara, and I had poured every penny of our savings into it, catering, flowers, a venue that sparkled like a dream under the summer sky. We wanted them to start their life together without the shadow of debt, a gift born from love, not obligation. Ethan was my pride, my only child, the boy who'd grown into a man with his mother's kindness and my stubborn streak. Lila, though she was a wildfire, fierce, brilliant, and unapologetically herself, she'd swept into our lives 2 years ago, captivating Ethan with her sharp wit and boundless ambition. I admired her, truly. She was a lawyer, climbing the ranks at a prestigious firm, her name already whispered in circles that mattered. But there was something in her eyes, a guarded edge, like she was always bracing for a fight. The wedding day dawned bright, the air thick with anticipation. Clara fussed over Ethan's tie, her hands trembling with joy, while I shook hands with guests, my chest swelling with pride. The ceremony was flawless. Lila, radiant in white, her smile softening the edges of her usual intensity. Ethan, beaming, his eyes never leaving her. I watched them exchange vows, my heart full, believing I'd done something right in this world. But then came the reception. The band played, champagne flowed, and I was just about to toast the couple when Lila pulled me aside. Her face was a storm, her voice low but firm. Mr. Harper, I appreciate what you've done, but I need to make this clear. I'm an independent woman. I won't be beholden to anyone, not even you. Ethan and I will pay you back every cent. I froze. The words hit like a slap, not because of the money, but because of the wall she just built between us. I'd spent my life working construction, calluses on my hands and dreams in my heart, all for moments like this, to give my son a future, to welcome Lila into our family. And now, she stood there, rejecting the one thing I had to offer, my love, wrapped in that check. Lila, I said, my voice rougher than I meant, this wasn't about control. It was about family. She shook her head, her jaw set. Family doesn't come with strings. Mr. Harper, I've fought too hard to let anyone think they own a piece of me. I wanted to argue, to tell her she'd misunderstood, but the hurt choked me silent. I walked away, the laughter and music fading into a dull roar. Clara found me later, her eyes searching mine. What's wrong, Tom? She asked, but I couldn't find the words. How do you explain that your gift, your sacrifice, was seen as a chain? Days turned into weeks, and the tension lingered. Ethan tried to bridge the gap, his voice soft as he explained Lila's perspective. She's proud, Dad. She's worked for everything she has. She doesn't want to feel like she owes anyone. I get it, I said, but I didn't. Not really. Pride was one thing, but this felt personal, like I'd been judged and found wanting. Clara, ever the peacemaker, urged me to let it go. She's young, Tom. She's trying to find her place in this family. Give her time. But time didn't soften the edges. Lila sent us a check, cold and formal, for half the wedding cost. No note, no explanation, just numbers on paper. I stared at it, my hands shaking, and something broke inside me. I didn't want her money. I wanted her to see me, to understand that my gift wasn't about power or control. It was about love, about building something together. One evening, I drove to their apartment, the check burning a hole in my pocket. Ethan opened the door, his face lighting up. Dad, what's up? Is Lila here? I asked, my voice steady but my heart racing. She appeared, her expression guarded but curious. I held up the check. This, I said, is not what I wanted. I paid for your wedding because I love you both, because I wanted you to start your life without burdens, not because I thought you couldn't handle it. Lila's eyes softened, just a fraction, but she didn't speak. Ethan stepped closer, his hand on my shoulder. Dad, we know you meant well. Lila she needs to feel like she's standing on her own. I respect that, I said, my voice breaking. But family isn't about standing alone. It's about leaning on each other. I'm not trying to own you. Lila, I'm trying to be your father. For a moment, silence hung between us, heavy and fragile. Then Lila spoke, her voice quieter than I'd ever heard. I didn't mean to hurt you, Mr. Harper. I've always had to prove I'm enough. On my own, I nodded, the weight in my chest easing. You are enough, but you don't have to do it alone. We didn't solve everything that night. Lila didn't tear up the check, and I didn't ask her to. But something shifted. Over time, we started talking, really talking, about her fears, my hopes, and the messy, beautiful thing called family. She began calling me Dad instead of Mr. Harper, and each time, it felt like a small victory. Months later, at a family dinner, Lila raised her glass, her eyes meeting mine. To family, she said, her voice steady. To leaning on each other. I smiled, my heart full again. The money didn't matter. The check didn't matter. What mattered was the bridge we'd built. Shaky at first, but stronger with every step. This story isn't just about a wedding or a check. It's about pride, love, and the courage to let someone in. It's about learning that independence doesn't mean standing alone, and family doesn't mean losing yourself. What do you think? Where do you draw the line between pride and connection? Share your thoughts because every story has two sides. End.